So this is something I've been doing. This is my image, if you have some image. I don't want you to think about image. You may have to do very accurate registration between those two plates. Okay, so for example, this is primarily just this black. It's a China Camp State Park, and primarily just this black plate will be giving all information, and the additional color is just the water, right? So it doesn't have to be lining up perfectly. This blue sky and water can go underneath of the this structure of the pier. So I just chose this subject because I don't have to. That doesn't require very accurate registration. Okay. So for example, this is I just put the plate here, and then you can tape it so it doesn't move. And of course, you can scratch your image by looking through that Plexiglass. Often, you can check that by using your scratch marks by using this black paper. Sometimes having black paper underneath can show the scratch marks a little bit easily. Okay, I recommend having a piece of black paper so your scratch can be checked. Drypoint can be checked in this manner. Okay, and then I have another plate here, and yeah, of course, you can scratch like this, and if you don't want to show that scratch marks, you can make it smoother by using varnisher to knock that bar, and that area become less textured. Whatever smooth doesn't hold that much ink, right? And when you are going like this, you are creating a lot of texture by bar. And of course, oh shoot, I don't mean to make those areas to be too dark, and you can use a varnisher to make it smoother. Varnisher is not meant to be scratching. You are meaning to press down the surface to be shinier, right? If you go like that, of course, that makes scratch marks, right? But if you go this side, you are making that surface to be shinier. Is it clear? Shiny means less texture, right? Yeah, it's originally made for copper plate, but works for Plexiglass too. These two plates, kind of going back and forth between this plate and this plate. If you want to have another plate, you can have another plate, right? 2 or 3 plates going like that. Okay. So let's print this. 2 plates. Printing, maybe it's good to wipe the Plexiglass. Probably you may have a lot of debris and a lot of fingerprints. So it's good to clean the plate. Aqua ink. lots of aqua mag. And I think the key is if you don't, I don't want you to get too much ink on the backside and then gets very confusing. So it's probably good to have a newsprint so you don't get the ink on the backside of the plate, because plexiglass is transparent. Gets very confusing if you get the inks to the backside of the plate. A little bit of green here. Or magnesium carbonate, basically, to stiffen the ink. If you're using the aqua ink, that's very watery. And easily overwipe. So you need to stiffen the ink by adding magnesium carbonate or aqua mag. And for this technique, I really want you to pay attention to the edges of the plate. Because if you have a lot of inks to the edges, plate edges, then a little bit of a misregistration shows well and become annoying. So try not to have inks to the edges. Okay, so I have a paper. And this is the thing. I've been using this non-skid, but I have a lot of inks already from the plates. All these inks from the paper non-skid, and I was so struggling. So putting the clean sheet of a newsprint. Okay, so anyway, so this is like that, right? And on top of it, before you start to rub, this is I use for a wood block. This is a baren. So any spoons are fine, and also you can use like a doorknob, you know. You can start with a wood spoon, but make sure your hand is really pressing one side so the paper doesn't get shifted. I think metal spoon probably is giving a little bit more firm pressure and creating the heat. Hopefully I don't burn my hand or finger. Oh, I did that for shifting a little bit. My case, I have to use both hands, go back and forth between left hand and right hand. I don't know what's your technique. I stop at this point. It's a little bit green. It's some areas still blotchy. I see a lot of movement of spoon. But let's go like this, okay? And let's move on to our next plate. Again, without the aqua mag or magnesium, ink is so loose and easily comes off from the plate. So it's good to stiffen it before applying the ink to the. Okay. Okay. I printed this yesterday, and I put back to the water this morning. So it's a water soluble, but it's still oil-based ink. So it didn't bleed in the water, which is a good sign. Now the registration of this is very casual and funky. Just use a plate on top of paper, trying to line up. Okay, and then I'm not gonna be using a non-skid right now. I'm gonna probably just move this one, make this one carefully flipping. I know the way I'm showing is probably funky, and just I feel like this is best way at this point without having any device. Okay. All right. It's coming along. And I'm not using a non-skid this thing right now. I'm just using my glass top. And it's not really shifting as long as I'm putting my palm so firmly like this on the paper and the plexiglass. Right, that's not bad. The blue is a little bit faded. but this the brown plate is on top of the blue cross plate. Okay, so yesterday I did few other prints. Let me show you. This is the one I did yesterday. Of course, the plate, when I was flipping the paper, plate was shifted. So I got this funky plate mark, first one is not lining up, right? And one more I did was, I was doing that on the non-skid. So this texture of the non-skid showed up very bad, even though the registration was very accurate. Okay, so today's print is actually not that bad considering with two other ones.